Hello and welcome to Lesson 4, Connotation. Most words have multiple meanings. Crazy phrases. Ever wonder what people from other countries think of our odd sayings? Things like, it's your birthday, go nuts. If they don't know that go nuts is just another way of us saying, have a blast, have a great time, have fun. They might think that on your birthday, you're rooting for nuts. You're rooting for peanuts. Hooray, peanuts. And they might be really confused. Or the phrase buzz off. They might think, well, I'm not a bee. They might not even know what buzz means, when really we know it just means go away. If you don't know the difference between connotation and denotation, our language might come off as pretty strange. The desired result of today's lesson is to understand and recognize the difference between a word's connotation and its denotation. Words have multiple meanings. They have shades of meaning. The connotation is the implied meaning, whereas the denotation is the literal meaning. Well, what does that mean? Let's look at it some more. If I'm talking about the connotation of a word, that is the implied meaning. To imply is to suggest, meaning you're not saying it outright. It's sort of like the impression you get from something. The connotation, it's implied. Whereas the denotation is a literal definition. It's an exact representation. There's no context. You're just taking it at face value for what it is. Let's take a look at an example. Common phrase. Those beats are sick, yo. Let's take a look at the connotation. Those beats are sick. We know what that means. It means that the music is very good. Good beats. The denotation, someone who doesn't understand that common phrase might take it very literally. They might be picturing that the music itself, every beat and note, is feeling ill. Here's another phrase. Slide me some of that cheddar. The connotation, we know what that means. Slide me some cheddar. It means give me some money. But the denotation, if you don't understand that common phrase, they might be picturing like literally pushing a piece of cheddar cheese towards somebody. All right, let's do one more. He is such a pig. If you think of a pig, you might be thinking of a guy that looks like this. Maybe someone who's disrespectful to women, or alternately, maybe he's just eating a lot. He's a pig. But if you don't know that common phrase, you might take it literally. He is a pig. It's not a human, it's an actual pig. He is a pig. Use the right form. There is a fox in the yard. We know what that means. There's an attractive person in the yard. But the denotation, there's a fox in the yard. Someone's taking it a little too literally. There's a small woodland creature in the yard. Along with multiple meanings and shades of meaning, we can have positive and negative connotations. For example, the word child. A positive connotation will give us a nicer, more appealing impression of a word. A son or daughter, a kiddo, or a little one. Those are nice ways to talk about a child. Very positive. Whereas a negative connotation is giving us a bad, less appealing impression of a word, like a brat, a hooligan, or a small fry. Referring to a child as a brat is a more negative thing, as opposed to referring to a child as a kiddo. Let's try it with the word skinny. Some positive ways to say that someone is skinny. They're slender, they're lean, they're angular. And you might be thinking about someone who is just fit and trim. A negative way to call someone skinny, they're scrawny, they're emaciated, they're skin and bone. It's a much less positive thing. You might think of just a scrawny dude. So let's revisit that desired result. Do you feel comfortable in your ability to understand and recognize the difference between a word's connotation and its denotation? You're going to show me by answering the questions below the video.